New York Giants safety Julian Love getting a little spicy out there. Says that coach Nick Sirianni of the Philadelphia Eagles had a free ride this season. Whew. It caught the attention of Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham had to step up and basically say, that's cap. I want to give this young man the benefit of the doubt and actually listen to the segments of the interview and then kind of see what he's saying here. And then I also want to point out that the difference in tone between talking about Coach Brian Daboll versus Coach Nick Sirianni, and I think that's truly where you can hear the difference. Let's get into it, everybody. What's up, Cerebral Football fans? My name is Steven Hyder. This is Gate City Sports Channel. Hey, look, man, today's topic's all about division rivals, kind of still mixing it up, man. I get it, bro. If I lost 3 straight games to a division rival, I don't think I'd be in the mood to give them a lot of, cheer, too. If I had a coach on the sideline, kind of chirping it up after the national media kind of basically told us we were going to get whooped by the Giants, and then, that coach kind of let the national media have it at your expense. We all know what Nick said on the sideline.
I know what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm allowed to be down.
I get it, man. I get it. Sometimes hostility will kind of resume in these type of situations, and it seems to still be on the mind of Giants safety Julian Love. Let's go ahead and let's roll the clip and let's hear what he has to, say about Coach Brian Daboll.
How much of the Giants' success to this season do you attribute to Brian Daboll, and just what's it like playing for Coach Daves?
It's exciting. I mean, he's just like a big kid, I would like to say. He brought just energy to the building. The staff, the coaches, the players, everyone was juiced up and ready to go all season long. And then
I find the comments about bringing energy and things like that, like juicing everybody up, quite ironic when you talk about like Nick Sirianni and disliking him in the same breath.
On the field, he just let the players be themselves. I think he let personality shine through the play, and as a first-year head coach, that's tough to do. And so I think the honor is rightfully.
So it's next Thursday night. Would you say he's going to win this thing? I mean, I know the season's over, and you're like, well, the championship's all that. Well, you didn't win a championship. So can we at least get Daboll the Coach of the Year award?
He should. I mean, he had a lot to overcome. I mean, to be in New York with this fan base, with this.
Can we stop the cap with this? How the hell is this dude Coach of the Year and Nick Sirianni's not even mentioned?
The expectations that are already set on this culture is different. And so to do what he's done in 1 year, I think, the award should be his.
The expectations set on this culture is different. Come on, bro. The Giant fans are real fans. There's no doubt about it. They're not casuals. It ain't Philly. I think the likelihood that Brian Daboll wins Coach of the Year is very high. I mean, we'll know very shortly. By the time this video is probably uploaded, it'll probably be decided by that point. With that said, it's just crazy to me the argument around why people say this and why Nick Sirianni was removed from consideration, because it's so absent from the facts. The facts remain that Nick Sirianni coached a football team that won 5 games above expectation. I'm not saying Daboll didn't do a heck of a job with the Giants, and he wasn't tasked with a really difficult order with trying to reorganize and redo the entire front office on top of a coaching staff, on top of a lack of, talent on the roster. But they still only really won 2 games above expectation, and they were in a pretty big landslide kind of heading down the season. I think if it wasn't for the gift of playing the Minnesota Vikings in the first round, who were just a complete you-know-what show at the end of the season, I don't know, man. I don't know. I still find that one to be kind of cap. But I want to take a second, and I want to actually listen to what he had to say, the exact words he had to say when referencing Nick Sirianni, and kind of like, was he led into the discussion a little bit?
Julian, Nick Sirianni, coach on the other side, fiery, likes yelling at his own fan, not afraid to go after the officials, his own players, sometimes opposing players. I asked you this as a guy who played for Brian Kelly in college, also fiery. What do you make of Sirianni's act, that kind of coach, the sort of screamer coach, the intense kind of guy? You like that?
I'll start off by saying that it's a bit of a setup here, but I don't think that the subsequent comment was necessary from Julian Love, but there's definitely a setup here.
I don't know if I like it, but I respect it, I guess. He's a guy who really is doing a good job because he's not getting in the way of his team. He has an experienced roster from top to bottom, offense, defense.
You see this stuff, though? Like, what's your reaction as a player, and that guy's doing that?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean,
All right, if I'm going to be honest here, so far, I don't take issue with what he said. I think there is merit to the conversation of saying Stay out of the way. Let your playmakers make plays. You draw a scheme up. You call the plays between coordinator, head coach. You get what I'm saying? I definitely agree with that part. But then they set him up. They set him up in that part you saw right before it, right? Where they're showing Nick doing the head thing. They set him up for it. He took it, hook, line, and sinker. And this is where, I'm sorry, but like he went off the rails a little bit. There's no doubt about it.
He's in for a free ride right now. You guys can coach this team and they can succeed.
That's what we're looking for.
That's how.
A bulletin board right there.
Come on.
He might not be suiting up for the Eagles anytime soon, but that's okay. There's 31 other teams. That's fine.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's all right.
Exactly right. But they have a talented roster, and he's just doing the best thing he could do. I think it's a players' league, and he's just taking a step back and letting his team play.
When you start diving into the territory of saying things like he's just along for the ride and anyone can coach this team, I'm sorry, but there's no way to interpret that is not completely disrespectful of a coach. I mean, look, yeah, players win games. There's no doubt about it. I don't care how good of a coach you are. If you don't have good enough personnel, you're going to find it very, very difficult to win in this league. But with that said, to negate the fact that underneath Nick Sirianni, we have seen way more player development. We have seen way better decisions made inside the scouting world because all these coaches, for the most part, have scouting backgrounds. So we seem to be like in unison between the front office, the scouting department, and the coaches. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I do think there's an element of this to where Nick is being penalized because he did the mature thing, he did the right thing, and he turned over play calling for the benefit of the team. And I thought that decision has made a world of difference because Shane Steichen is very good at calling plays. And on top of that, I think Nick Sirianni's been pretty dang good at coming up with scheme, coming up with the install of the offense, coming up with game plans, and then also managing the games. We just sat there and watched a guy in Kyle Shanahan try to take entirely too much on himself. Very reminiscent of what happened to Doug in 2020, by the way, to where he didn't hire an offensive coordinator. You know, he's calling the plays. He's got so many things. You know, he's trying to manage the game. There's all these things going on that he's trying to juggle. Nick's been smart, man. And it kills me that people are going to try to take advantage of that situation and try to dirt talk him and trash talk him because he's doing the right thing. And that's what's really messed up about the conversation in general. Most of us who have coaching experience, we realize the job that this guy is doing. Nick Sirianni's been incredible. He really has. I mean, there's not a better cultural fit that I can think of that would have come into this organization and grabbed it by the horns and run with it the way he did. I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know how you kind of balance this stuff out. All I can say is that I'm very happy with their coach. But leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I thought the ending of that got mad disrespectful personally. With that said, you know what? Do something about it, Julian Love. Because he put you 0-3, my guy. 0-3 on the season. 1-4 since he's been there. He's 4-1 against you. Like, do something about it then. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all's time and attention. I'll see you guys on the next video.